Welcome to Front and Center Ice, presented by Run Pure Bets. I'm JC Zargo, joined as always by Tanner Smith.
How's it going?
And our man Nate Zafai.
What's going on?
Happy to be here. Happy to break down another huge NHL slate. For those of you that are new to the program, we're here at 11 a.m. Central every Tuesday and Saturday, breaking down the full NHL slate, giving you the DFS and the betting breakdown. It is New Year's Eve. Tanner, man, you got any wild plans for the evening?
No, over at my girlfriend's place right now. I've been up since like 7:30 cleaning and everything. She's having people over, so that's about it. I'm not paying any $50 cover charge to go some dive bar, so staying in for me.
Fair enough, man. It's a young man's holiday. What about you, Nathan?
Yeah, no, not much. Me and some of the buddies might go to the casino, but
Nice.
not super late or anything. I think we're gonna go like 4 o'clock or something. So do that. I kind of gave up on the whole bar scene and stuff a while back. Not that I'm super old, 27, but I was just like over that whole scene. So I'm fine if I never see another ball drop. Everyone's the same. So
Couldn't agree more. Well, the good news for hockey fans, man, is it is a full day of NHL games, starting right off here in just a couple hours. So we won't go too in depth because we know you DFS players probably just going to avoid these. Maybe Nate Zafai will drop a couple gems in case you want to do maybe some cash games or something. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So first on the board is the Buffalo Sabres visiting the Boston Bruins. Should be a fun game. Should be a high-scoring game. The Buffalo puck line sitting at +1.5, -114. But for those of you that like Boston to cover, you can catch that at almost even money. So good play whichever side you're on. Great argument can be made for either side. As always, when either of these teams are playing, you got to consider the over. So still sitting at 6.5, not having reached 7 yet. I feel like that's a play here. But Tanner, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely interested in the over here a little bit. The goalies haven't been announced yet with Allmark in. I'm definitely on the Bruins side. The books are too. If for some reason Swayman gets the start, I think you can get a ton of value playing the Sabres here. You get plus 220 for them just to win outright. And I mean, Swayman's been pretty bad lately in the way the Sabres have been scoring. They're still the second highest, the highest scoring offense in the league. I know the Bruins are good on home ice, but I think if Swayman plays, you can definitely make an argument for the Sabres money line. But beyond that, I mean, if you just want any value here, Sabres puck line wouldn't be bad. You're getting -120 around there, like you said, for them to lose by 1. So that and the over is probably where I'd look here, but I don't really have a ton of interest in this game.
For sure. Like I said, these early games are always hard, like I said, unless you just want to throw a dime on a puck line or something like that. And we don't want to get too involved that often. A man who's kind of heating back up is Tage Thompson. And now Nate Zafai, we know, we always, for the most part, just avoid those extremely high-priced guys. But, as he's had some really good games recently, is he on your radar at all, or do you just not even think twice about stuff like that?
yeah, I mean, so this early slate, I'm not playing it personally. I'm mainly focused on the 5-game main slate for content for DFS size. But I mean, it's hard to ignore his upside on a 3-game slate. Now he's probably going to be fairly chalky, I would say, but he is at 9,100, so it is a price to pay. You have to pay for him over Marchand, Bergeron, Pasta, some of those other guys from the flip side of this game, which I actually probably prefer, to be honest, Boston at home. Buffalo's defense is not great. They're very leaky. So to be honest, this might be grab a couple pieces from each side, to be honest. But looking at the slate, I do like the next game that we're going to talk about. Just two very bad teams going against each other leads to a lot of goals usually in Columbus and Chicago, and their price tags are a lot cheaper than some of these guys. So maybe grab a stud or two from this game and hope you pick the right pieces, just because fully stacking this up on a 3-game slate, it's going to be very hard. Obviously, you can grab some value from the Columbus and Chicago sides. Even Nashville's got some value. Vegas, same thing. But think this might be a better hockey game than a real life DFS game, just because I think Boston can try and put the clamps on Buffalo here at home.
Yeah, I mean, definitely too. You never really know what you can get with Buffalo, like coming off that dismal game against Detroit. You never know when Tage can put up 3+ points, but again, playing a team like Boston, don't really want to count on that. Fair enough, though. So Nate's a 5-man. You're riding with Boston, and Tanner, you're kind of just waiting. Depends on who's in net, right?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of interest here regardless. If Allmark's in, there's nothing for really to even look at here. He's been so good lately.
Right on. Can't argue with that. We'll just move right along then. Other game Nazify alluded to. Chicago Blackhawks visiting the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is a matchup of two of the worst teams in the league. But, could be interesting. Again, two bad teams. Well matched. Could at least make for some entertaining hockey. Nazify man, one man who I'm always keeping an eye on is, of course, Johnny Hockey. But he's been terrible of late, right? Like, he was supposed to be this huge signing, biggest free agent this year. Columbus made this huge splash. He scored 2 goals all month. If you look back further, I believe like 3 goals in November, 5 in October. Like, he's just not been what they were hoping to get when they signed him. Is he just become a complete fade? I assume on the DFS side, like, you don't even think twice about him. You kind of go more the Boone Jenner route, Patrick Laine. What do you think when you see the Blue Jackets?
Yeah, so looking at him, part of that is he's not shooting the puck. I mean, it's hard to score points when you're not shooting the puck. He's averaging under 2 shots per game last 5, which is not great, especially he's 6.9K. So I'm completely off him. Obviously, does he have the upside to break any slate? Absolutely. I mean, he's a special talent. That's obviously why they traded for him. But he's in a terrible franchise, right? Terrible team. So his morale is got to be down. I would think. I mean, the team is just pathetic. He does have fairly good history against Chicago outside of the game they played this year. But again, that was with him on a different team. So it's totally different line mates. It's totally different morale, whole different coaching, everything like that. So that could play into it because he had a 3-shot on goal game against Chicago, and they actually lost that game 5-2 last time they played. But obviously this game is now at home with Columbus. They can kind of dictate matchups a little bit, but realistically, it doesn't really matter. I mean, both of these teams are terrible. I mean, Columbus is they're a dumpster fire, and I actually lean to the Blackhawks side here. They're just playing better, in my opinion, than these Jackets are. And the Jackets allow over four goals per game last 5 on home ice. The 4th most shots, bottom 6 in the league in penalty kill, and they give up top 10 in penalties per game. So just all the stats point towards Chicago. As bad as they are, they still have guys that are playing well and can score. Their power play is actually pretty solid on the road, with Patrick Kane and Max Domi and Seth Jones. So that's where I would lean in this game. Their price points are actually cheaper than Johnny Hockey and some of these other guys for Columbus. So that's where I'm at. Overall, this 3-game slate is pretty ugly, to be honest with you.
Do you think he just regrets going to Columbus?
I mean, absolutely. If I was anyone and I got stuck in Columbus, right, I would regret that as well. I think Tanner can probably agree, right? I mean, their team is they're
terrible. Like,
their team
was
is
supposed
brutal.
to be the godsend. On paper they have a decent
right.
They have a decent lineup. Like, I mean, Laine hasn't lived up to be the player everyone expected him to be coming into the draft and everything, but he can still do it. Like, they have a good lineup on paper. They suck.
I mean, you figure at least be like Edmonton, where it's like, okay, they might not have depth, but they should at least be able to be a top team in that division. So the fact that they're just at the bottom is, it's certainly mind blowing. Tanner, man, you got any takes on this game?
I mean, like you said earlier, when bad teams get together, it seems like goals are scored. And the over's sitting on DraftKings right now at 6 even for -120. So I think anything, I'd go there. And I do like the Blackhawks in this one. You get plus 120 on the money line. Columbus stinks. I know the Blackhawks aren't exactly the poster child for good hockey, but I think they can certainly handle the Blue Jackets tonight, even being the away team.
They're playing better too right now.
Yeah, like they're not as bad. Like, I mean, Patrick Kane still gets it done. They're trying to showcase him before he gets traded in a couple months here. So I still think they can do it.
Yep. I mean, Patrick Kane's days in a Blackhawks uniform are certainly numbered. Like I said, though, I don't want to waste too much time on these games. Before we go, just real quick, tell me, doesn't have to be factual, where you think Patrick Kane will be playing by the end of the season, Tanner.
I think Buffalo.
Nate's Pie?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much. Obviously, I think he's going to go to a contender. But
Who you got?
I don't know where, man. Buffalo's definitely a good pick. They could use some.
No, they're too far. They're too far down in the standings.
Hometown guy, and they've got $17 million in cap space. They can eat the entire cap instead of having Chicago retain some, giving them a better price on the trade.
Yeah, it's just the only issue is they're not really in contention. Yeah, they got
right. That's such not
this year for sure.
You're going to lose draft picks or young talent for a guy that's going to give them a playoff win.
Be a hell of a storyline.
Hold on, let me take a look at the standings here real quick.
I like Pittsburgh.
Carolina doesn't need them. Boston doesn't need them. Toronto doesn't need them. Dallas maybe for depth. So Dallas maybe. I don't know what their cap space looks like.
Cool.
But I mean, Dallas outside of their top line, right? They're really weak. So they could. I mean, they could be a outside shot. I don't really see Jersey going after them. The Kings are right there, maybe. But I don't know if he goes from Chicago out to LA. Pittsburgh, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's down in the hunt a little bit, but
they don't have the cap room for them. They'd have to give up so much, and there's retention and stuff like that.
I'm not going to hold you to it.
I mean, I don't know what Dallas's cap space looks like, but Dallas might be an outside shot just because they need some depth outside of that top line. So,
all right, we'll monitor that situation and see if anything comes of it. But I want my flowers when somehow Pittsburgh, maybe they'll pull what was it, Hedman? Maybe. Oh yeah, because is Letang on the IR?
I have no idea what they're doing with him right now. They've got him somewhere that I guess so because Ty Smith is playing now. I don't know.
That's how they do it. That's how they get it done. They keep out. Yeah, they free up that cap space.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about Patty Kane coming. Yeah. It's just how they do it would be interesting.
That'd be wild.
I don't think Kane's
I just don't think.
I don't think
that's the spot.
Happening.
I just it's one of those things too where it's got to be a team like Boston or Pittsburgh that's kind of on that last leg, making a last ditch effort. Because like Buffalo, Carolina, Dallas, they're on the rise. Like, I don't think they're going to they're not going to give up on
Kane's got but Kane's got a couple years left in him. I mean, he still looks good. He's still flying around.
You're not I see what you're getting at, DJ, man, but they're not, because he's only got this year on his contract, right, Kane?
Yeah, Dallas is not giving up robots.
Yeah, you're not getting up anyone. You're not getting up that much for half a season. You'll probably get. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, maybe because also too, hockey's so much weirder than all other sports when it comes.
Well, Chicago's dumb too. So I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're gonna let Kane go for? Right? Like
a bag of pucks.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you got half a season, you really just thankful to get anything because otherwise.
Yeah, I really don't think you're re-signing him, to be honest. I mean, you might, but you're going for the cup, and that's why.
Yeah,
I looked at Dallas because he adds some depth to Dallas outside of that top line. Right, they can split that line in half maybe, or throw Kane on that second line, and leave that top line together, something like that, and make a shot. I mean, they can make a push. To be honest with you. They have the scoring, and they're sitting right around 5th in the standings. So, could be interesting.
We spent way longer on that than I meant to, but oh well. When you're on network television, you can do what you want. All right, moving right along. Predators at Vegas, 3:00 game. It should be an interesting one. Vegas, they kind of, slowed down a little bit from that dominant role that they were on to open the season. Obviously, still plenty good. Nashville, a little bit of a rise. Obviously, still pretty bad. Still be a pretty big beatdown, I would think. I'm liking the Vegas puck line -1.5 at +148. Over under, I'd kind of stay away from. Tanner, man, what are your thoughts?
So this game actually fits kind of the criteria me and Nades if I were talking about in the Discord last night. So a home team when a team is on a back-to-back with travel, the home team so far has won the first period, at least for me, about 3 times in a row. You can get them Vegas Golden Knights for -0.5 in the first period for +150. That's been a printer lately, and that's exactly where I'm going for this game too. I do think Vegas takes the win here. They get Lankinen in that. Nashville had an early game yesterday, so that maybe a little more rested than they might usually be with travel. But yeah, like we were saying, that's been a printer lately. -0.5 in the first period for Vegas, +150. Take it to the bank.
I love it. Names,
Yeah.
quick thoughts on this one before we move on.
Yeah, so I've been tracking that a little bit, and actually, there's 2 bets in it. First period over. Kind of the reasoning behind it is a lot of times teams on back-to-backs, right, throw their backup tender in, so there's a lot. And then the home team's fresher than the obviously road traveling team that's on a back-to-back. It doesn't really matter if the team that's on a back-to-back is home back-to-back nights, right? Because there's no travel or anything. It's just kind of a normal thing. But like a team that's on a back-to-back with travel, some of their schedules and stuff, and it's been, the overs, when I was tracking it, the first period over 1.5 goals has hit every single time. And then the last 3 times, the home team puck line has hit as well. If you just blind tail that every single time all year long, you're just not going to lose money. To be honest with you, you're not going to, because even if it's 1-1, right, you cash the over bet and you push the puck line. You can do that and you're going to be plus units. So that's just that's a great thing. And I have to give Faxman some shout out on that. He's the one that he used to do that. And then the book where it was offered at stopped allowing it. So if that tells you anything, it's pretty good.
To give that the short summary one more time, what's the bet?
Yeah. So any team that's on a back-to-back with travel. So
back-to-back with travel.
What game was this?
The Preds and Knights.
So Preds are on a back-to-back with travel heading into Vegas. So you take Vegas's first period puck line, which is usually like a 0.5, right?
They say it's -0.5 right now. You're getting +150 on DraftKings.
And then you take the first period over, which the first period over is usually always at 1.5.
Yeah.
So it's you take the first period over 1.5 goals in the home team puck line, and you can parlay them together or just bet singles or round robins, etc. And you're just not going to lose money.
Love it. See, guys, this is why you guys got to be part of the Run Pure community. The Discord's always popping. We're always talking about stuff like this. A few weeks ago, Tanner and I were talking about the overtime bets versus the regulation 60-minute puck line. It's just always popping. You can always throw in any question you got, whether you're debating a bet, you debating 2 players on the DFS side. It's a fantastic. So head on over to Run Pure. Check out our different offerings, but no matter which offering you get every sport and you get the Discord. It's a great community. So like I said, whether you got betting questions, you just want to talk sports, members, coordinators on there all day long, chopping it up. It's a great place to be. You got to come check us out. And then for those of you that are kind of newer, you can head on over on the free side. I'm putting out articles. Tanner's putting out best bets articles. So you can kind of get a little bit of taste of the type of information we're dropping. But yeah, you got to check it out. Come become a Run Pure member. Right on. Anything else on that game before we move along?
Good here.
Cool. Philly, keeping it on the West Coast, Philadelphia Flyers visiting the Kings. Philly, they played yesterday, didn't they?
I don't think so.
Did the Kings? No, I'm thinking 2 days ago, man.
Yeah, they
I've
played a
been
few
so
days
sick and
ago.
my head is not on straight. Kings 2 days ago. Yeah, no. All right. Anyways, Flyers at Kings. Kings heavy favorite, obviously. Hosting. Seems like a pretty straightforward one here. Over under sitting at 6. I didn't get a chance to look at who is in net.
Well, there's no Carter Hart on the trip, so
it's not Urson.
Yeah, Urson and Copley unconfirmed. That's what it's looking like. So yeah, I'm definitely liking that over. Maybe parlay that with the Kings money line. What do you think, Tanner?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the parlay here, go with the Kings money line. Always a safer play. I actually have a little parlay going with them, a little 4-game going with that. But I think you can certainly go with the Kings puck line here, plus 120. They're on home ice. The Flyers, I really hate going puck line against them because they burned me the last 2 times I went puck line against them. So maybe we can make it the trifecta. But yeah, Philly's just not a good team anymore. Carter Hart was the anchor behind them when they were winning games in the beginning of the season. Urson's not that guy. Whoever's the other one, Samuelson, whoever it is, Sandstrom.
They both suck. They're both AHL.
Yeah, they're not NHL winning goalies, and Copley's been great lately. If he just plays the way he's been playing, I see no reason they can't cover here.
For sure. And
does look like Quick's projected to be in net too for LA, so that's a little bit. I think Copley's better than Quick. But,
yeah, maybe stick with the over then, minus 115. DraftKings has it at 6. I don't hate that play either.
Vegas, I mean, LA has also been so good at home. That's another knock against Philly. Good reason to ride with the Kings. Nate, anything you want to add?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Kings here. They actually have been fairly solid on home ice when I'm looking at the numbers here outside of their penalty kill. One call out, Victor Arvidsson absolutely owns Philly. So he's 5K flat. If you're playing that 4-game slate, I would look at him big time. I love him, love his price. He's shooting the puck over 3 times per game. His last 3 games versus Philly are 29, 36, and 34 DK points at 5K flat. So that's pretty good, and he's playing well right now.
So plus 205 is a goal scorer.
Yeah, so his last game against them, he had 2 goals. Game before that, he had 2 goals. Game before that, he had 2 goals. So he had 2 goals in the last 6 goals in his last 3 games against them. So you can book that he's going to score here, plus money. So I like him. And then Tony D for Philly is absolutely on fire right now, playing out of his mind. And I think he leads this. Yeah, he leads this team in shots per game as a defensive man. He is 5.7K, but he blocks shots as well. So I do like him there. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, definitely lean more to the Kings. Victor Arvidsson, Tony D. But again, I'm not playing DFS on these early games just because I got other stuff going on Saturdays. But Victor Arvidsson, book him for a goal scorer, and then Tony D. Let me see. Let's see so an assist. He's got an assist in both of his last 2 against LA. What's his props at?
Who's that? Tony D?
Yeah, Tony D.
Goal scorer plus 500.
I don't know if I like that, but what's his?
Let's see. Points. Oh, to record a point, minus 120.
Yeah, don't love that. I mean, he does have a goal in 3 straight, so you could take a stab at the plus 500. Don't hate that.
Power play point is plus 235.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the better angle because if I look at the power play numbers here, the Kings penalty kill is at 68%, and they give up over 3 penalties per game. So you can look at that, and even take a stab at that plus 500. I wouldn't hate. I mean, that's pretty good value for a guy that has a goal in 3 straight games, and now gets LA, who isn't exactly like stones in net, right?
Especially if Quick gets the start.
Quick's allowing 4.1 goals per game this year, so plus 500. I definitely like him, and Albertson here is anytime goal scorer. So
right on. Fair enough. No? Cool. For those of you that are new to the show, man, Nate the Five Man has been nailing these props. It's been absolutely incredible to watch. He got Kerfoot,
Min-price Kerfoot.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember who
third one
else.
you got on Tuesday. So
There's
he's
Lawson
three or four of them.
Lawson Krause before that.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's unreal.
printer.
It's free money. So at least drop us a like for Nate Defy doing the
Worst part
work
about
here.
it is I'm in Wisconsin. I don't even have an easy access to like a DK Sportsbook or Pando Sportsbook or something. So like I haven't even bet any of these. I'm just out here helping the people.
I was really pissed Tuesday
Doing the Lord's
because
work.
so I was so sick that I just did the show and then I was just done for the day. And I live in Mississippi and I have to go literally across the street to Tennessee to place my bets. And I just didn't that day. And I always tell your bets, Nanzify, and that day I didn't. And I'm like, holy cow, I missed out on so much money. All those huge plus money bets. But we already got a couple plays. New day, another dollar. Moving along though. Another interesting game. The Habs visiting the Capitals. Funny one here with Ovechkin. We talked about it on Tuesday. I was worried the scoring would slow down for Ovechkin now that he's got 802. Nate Defy said that's not going to happen. And while he did have a slow day at New York on Tuesday, Thursday followed up, got a goal, 6 shots. So he's just going to continue to roll. He's just going to continue to feed the puck. And that's all. It shouldn't even say Washington Capitals on the schedule. It should say Montreal Canadiens at Alexander Ovechkin because he's really the only thing that matters about this franchise. Only reason anyone is watching. Nathan, are you paying out though? Have you been paying out to get Ovechkin on your lineup?
I haven't, but I mean on this 4-game slate, I don't know how you don't slam Washington here. They have one of the best matchup outside of Tampa on this 4-gamer. In just every category, Montreal's allowing the second most shots per game. They're the last in the league in penalty kill. Obviously, Washington's not great on the penalty. But I mean, you get a bad penalty kill against any competent top line, right? That has Ovechkin on it, and you can look at that. He is 8,800, so I mean, it's up there, but he's shooting over five times per game, so it's hard to go against him. His props are probably ridiculous, not good value at all.
There's nothing there for it.
Yeah. So that tells you the books know to kind of stay away from him right now. Eric Gustav has been on a tear. His price has come up now, but he did slot in for Carlson on that top power play the last how many games. So could look at him. But one guy, let me see. One guy that's just been on an absolute printer is Dylan Strome. I mean, his price continues just to be extremely dirt cheap, continues to be on that top power play, continues to center Ovi on that top line. So look at him. I wouldn't hate that. Not in terms of like a goal scorer or anything. He did score last game against Ottawa, but could look at that. Montreal is allowing 2 assists per game to centers, and over 12 shots on goal per centers. So you could look at. I don't know what his props are, but that could be a stab there on some props. Just because he's on that top line at home, they can dictate matchups. So that's a plus matchup there for him.
I'd say the only one I'm really finding for him is just his points. To record a point is -150. But this is just so lopsided. There's not a whole lot of value anywhere. I guess if you wanted something, maybe go with the over. DraftKings has it just sitting at 6 right now for -115. But
the only issue is I don't know how Montreal's going to score. Is the issue.
I mean, you go team total there for the Capitals, and like you have to go all the way out to 4.5 to get plus money on it. 3.5 is -145. There's not a lot there.
Yeah, their last game was a 4 total with Washington winning 3-1. The 2 games before that obviously popped off, but that was not this season. That was last season, so completely different teams. I don't know if I like the over even. I just think
I just have no interest in this game.
Let me see who's got Washington. Yeah, Lindgren's been fine in that. Yeah, I just don't see how you don't slam Washington here if you're playing this slate.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth maybe throwing. Yeah, that puck line's not bad, but even still at -110, it's kind of more of a fade spot. I was even looking at shots on goal for Ovi. You got to go all the way up to 6 to get plus money. So, I mean, these aren't bad bets, but just with a slate this big, there's better
There's
value.
no reason.
Capitals money line. If you just need to add a leg to a parlay, not a bad look. But yeah, probably just a fade spot.
They're
here.
in my parlay with the Kings right now. So
okay, fair enough. Nice. Yeah, it should be. I mean, Canadiens have been just terrible.
Yeah.
Home
ice may be a different story, but
what's that?
I say home ice may be a little different story as far as this game goes. But
Yeah.
on the road, there's just no shot.
Yeah, it's and even that puck line, I don't really want to risk something stupid happening to ruin it at -110. I just don't think it's worth it. So we'll just move right along then. Heading to Florida, Yotes taking on the Lightning. Nathan Fine are always hot on Arizona. Typically, it's when they're at home, though. Any love for them visiting the Eastern Conference champs?
Yeah, I mean, Yotes are my squad. I love these guys. They continue to be super cheap, continue to do me well. I mean, if I was in a betting state, I would have took their money line the last 3 games or whatever it was at home, even last time against Toronto. I played Veggie in that actually on my DFS teams. He was fine under 7K against Toronto. Toronto was like a plus 350 favorite or something. You got or minus 350 favorite. Sorry, you got Arizona at like plus 310 or something.
Yeah, so I think I saw like plus 280 or something like that.
Yeah, right now it's Lightning minus 350, plus 275, which is similar to what it was when they played Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that though against Tampa on the road. But like I said, against Toronto, I mean, that was easy money. The game before that was easy money. I mean, you're probably up 8-9 units if you would have tailed Arizona at home the last couple games.
Yeah,
but I think that comes to a screeching halt here against these Lightning. Both teams are on a win streak. Much like I said, the last 3 games at home for Arizona. But let me look.
Puck line sitting at plus money. You like that?
What's the puck line?
Plus 1.5, plus 116 for the Coyotes.
So the last time these two teams played, it was 4-3. So Arizona would have covered that, but that was at Arizona. Now this is on the road. And last time Arizona went into Tampa, they got shut out 4-0. So I don't know if I like that. On the DFS side, just Tampa is an absolute smash spot. Arizona is a completely different team on the road. They allow the second most goals per game. They're second worst in the league in penalty kill, and they give up the third most penalties. So you put this Point, Kucherov, Stammer, Hedman on this top power play. If they don't score 1, 2, 3 goals even, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They're sleepwalking through this matchup. So definitely like that. Let me actually take a look here. So Stammer's got 3 goals in his last 2 against Arizona. He is on that second line. He isn't playing great right now, but this is a great bounce back for him. I don't know what his props are. They might be fairly decent just because
you get even money for him as a goal scorer.
Yeah, so
plus 100. So
I don't hate even money. Even money there just because he's on that top power play as well. What's Braden Point's props at?
He's plus 125 as a goal scorer. That's exactly where I'm heading there. He's been on an absolute tear lately.
Yeah, so he's got 4 goals in his last 3 games. Now against Arizona. I don't know how he doesn't score. He's finally shooting the puck instead of just distributing. So don't hate that. Now let me take a look at these Yotes and see if
it's crazy with Point, that power play there. You can get plus money for him to record a power play point. It's plus 155 actually.
Yeah, so don't hate that. Let me take a look.
He's the only one on that line that's getting plus money for a power play point, but you definitely go goal scorer there.
Yeah, let me take a look if these Yotes got anything cooking up for him. Clayton Keller is interesting, but his price is up there. Nick Schmaltz. I'm just taking a look. Let me see. Yeah, not really anything I'm liking on the Yotes side. I mean, you could take a stab at Lawson Krause just because he's on the road. He's on that second line.
Going back to the well, Krause.
Yeah, I don't know if I am. Just this is a brutal matchup. I'm off the Yotes here. I don't really like anything. And would look more towards the Tampa side here with Braden Point at even money to score. But you're getting plus money to record a power play point. Point for point on the power play. I would go there at plus what, 155?
Yeah, I just lost to somebody. Yeah, plus 155.
Yeah, so that's probably the best bet in this game is Braden Point to record a power play point at plus 155. So that's where I'm at.
Right on.
Yeah, I like
Fair
that
enough.
one a lot. Either that or goal scorer. Take your pick.
Tanner, anything else before we move along?
No, I think Nade's fight covered all that one.
Yeah, appreciate you covering. Moving along, now we kind of get into the late slate, the games that you know more on the DFS side. The games you'll be watching as you start counting down the new year. First one up, though, Minnesota Wild at the St. Louis Blues. Definitely intriguing matchup. Two pretty evenly matched teams. Again, I apologize. I didn't see who was in net on this one. I'm seeing probably Fleury and Binnington. Definitely liking the over for me here. That's kind of the play I'm leaning. Can't really get a read on either of these teams, though. Pretty inconsistent performances. Never really know what you're going to get. No real trends to be found with these guys. Tanner, you got a read on how this game's going to go?
No, this is two teams that, like you said, you never know which one you're going to get. Both teams could put 5-6 goals up on you, but at the same time could give up 5-6 goals, or they can either struggle to score. Teams struggle to score against them. Binnington can be lights out, or he's just a complete nutcase and has a meltdown and lets in 5 goals. So, yeah, I mean, you're getting minus 105 for the over. It's sitting at 6 right now. I really don't mind that one. I know where's the sheet here. I mean, neither team is really lighting the lamp up as far as their home away splits, but I don't know. This isn't the most exciting game to me from a bet standpoint.
No.
It's just there's not a lot here. It's like we said, two tough teams. They're two teams that's really tough to get a read on, and I can't get a beat on it.
Yeah, I'm always enjoy watching this Wild team, but they are hard to bet on. Nate Spyman, you got any plays for this one?
So I think this is a defensive battle, so I don't really like going over 6 goals here as well. But now that I say that, I mean, the last game was 5-1, game before that 5-2, 5-2. So it went over in 2-3 with a push in the last. So it's 2-0 with 2 pushes in the last 4 games against these two teams. I just think these are different teams. If I look at the numbers, both teams are good defensively. Both teams don't allow a lot of shots. Both teams are, well, especially the Blues, are good on the penalty kill. Don't get a lot of penalties. So if I lean, I would go to the Blues side just with the power play advantage. But they're just not a good home scoring team. So I just think this is more of a defensive battle. Both teams have their A-tenders in. Benny's been better than he has been earlier this year. Fleury, Math he's always got the capabilities. He was a great tender in Vegas. So I don't really love it. I'm just trying to see if I can look at any bets or any players here in terms of history and goal scorers. Let me take a look. Yeah, so if you want one, it's Ryan O'Reilly. I just taking a look at this. He's got a goal in 4 straight against Minnesota. I hate him as a player. He's not playing great. He killed my DFS team against Chicago the other night in an absolute nut matchup. But he has owned Minnesota. Absolutely owned Minnesota. And 3 of those were at home too. So they could dictate their matchups. And probably, if I had to guess, at Greenway are going to be on Tarasenko.
That'd be my
And
guess.
yeah, so he gets the better matchup. So throw some money at that plus 260, Ryan O'Reilly. I could see him potting the goal here. But other than that, I'm not really seeing anything I like. Yeah, not really seeing anything else I like. That's
Yeah,
where
that's
I'm
fair. I
at.
mean, Minnesota, they share the puck well. There's really no one who's kind of dominated the goal scoring. No chalky play there, so don't blame me for that. Tanner, something you wanted to add?
Not really. Like I said, gross game for me. Just not a lot of interest whatsoever.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe a little bit more exciting game then is the Toronto Maple Leafs visiting the Colorado Avalanche. Kind of surprised to see the line sitting where it is. The Maple Leafs are just a short favorite. Avalanche have been terrible of late. Over/under sitting at 6. I'm not even gonna. I've never been able to pronounce Colorado's goaltender's name. Anyone want to help me out with that? Nate's
Georgiev.
probably do it.
Yeah, sorry, Chet.
I'm not taking a shot at that. Chat's gonna have me.
Oh, come on.
Georgiev.
Close enough.
Yeah, so there's my pronunciation. I should just be
Georgiev
like JT.
is
I should
next.
just be like JT Hayes, and however the hell I say a name is how it's pronounced, regardless of what chat thinks or doesn't think. But yeah, so I don't know if you kicked it off to me here for this game, but I'm taking Colorado money line here.
Yep.
I don't see how Colorado loses this game at home. They have every category on my sheet is better. Wow. Every single one. So if you look at their line, every metric of theirs is red. And then on Toronto's, every metric is green. Toronto is a different team on the road. Obviously, they can score with anyone, but Colorado's been great the last 5 at home. They're getting healthier. They're allowing under 2 goals per game.
The rumor that is McKinnon's coming back tonight.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so Mac Daddy's back as well. So give me Colorado here at plus money. It's not a lot, obviously. Well, it's basically even money. But
it's even right now.
I don't see how they lose this game. I'm off Toronto here. From a DFS side, I don't love it just because these Avs prices are expensive. And I like, some of the other games here. But yeah, give me Colorado to win this game outright.
I love the stand. I mean, like I said, there's 2 inconsistent teams not playing up to expectations, but I like we're standing strong on Colorado. Tanner, man, what do you want to add to that?
No, I'm right there with you. You get plus money, or I guess even money there for Colorado to win outright. They're on home ice. McKinnon's back. He's one of those guys who just doesn't miss a beat when he comes back. He's one of the most psychotic competitors you're ever going to see in hockey. So I don't see why you don't take them here.
Fair enough. And then, I mean, we just got to be on it, right? Even at plus 114, is it worth it for McKinnon anytime goal?
I don't hate it. You don't see him at plus money very much. I just don't know how much ice time he actually sees in his first game back, especially against the Toronto team. So I don't really know if I love that. To be honest, it's going to sound crazy, but you could go back to the well with Alexander Kerfoot here. He's got 3 assists and a goal in his last 2 games against Colorado here, including a goal last game in Colorado. So you could take another stab at him. He's actually playing pretty decent. He's shooting 3 times per game.
Plus 360.
Yeah, so plus 360 there to score a goal. What's his odds to score a point? Record a point.
They don't have it up right now.
Okay, yeah. So I don't hate plus 360 for.
You probably get a decent payout for it.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Let me see what else we got here. JT Compher, I don't know if he stays on that top line that's projecting, but he's playing well right now. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't love this game for DFS, but I definitely lean Colorado and throw a stab on Kerfoot back to the well at plus 360 to score a goal.
Fair enough, man. Can't argue with it. Nade's a 5's hot. So again, man, check us out at Run Pure. those of you just joining us, we're here every Saturday and Tuesday, 11 a.m., breaking down the NHL slate. But for those of you that want daily action, you got to come join Run Pure. Get the plays from Nadify. Get the bets from Tanner. Join the Discord. We can get all your questions answered at any hour of the day. 2 a.m., you just can't wait to put money on it. Odds are someone's there that can give you some advice.
Hey, real quick, Swayman is starting for Boston against Buffalo.
I don't hate the Sabres then.
Sabres.
I think you get decent value on that one. Not to say, I mean, obviously Boston can win, but yeah, with Swayman and that, I think you can get a great payout for that.
Fair enough. Tanner, man, anything you want to add to that Colorado game before we move on?
Nope. Avs money line.
Right on. 4 games to go, but we got to go through another gross one before we get there. Ottawa Senators at the Detroit Red Wings. I don't have anything to say here. Like it's, I got nothing. Tanner, I'm gonna pass.
I mean, if anything, I guess I kind of lead towards the Senators here. They're just the better offensive team. Detroit's been very leaky at home. Terrible penalty kill. Only stopping 60% of the power play opportunities for an opposing team, and Ottawa draws the most penalties. And Magnus Hellberg is going to be in that for the Red Wings, so they're not even getting Husso. But yeah, like you said, pretty gross. I've seen both teams play horribly. I've seen both teams play well. Like I said, if anything, money line for the Senators, but I'll probably just be avoiding this one for the most part.
Yeah, nothing intriguing about this matchup for sure. Nadify, you got any gems you want to drop before we move along?
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty good DFS game. Both teams can score goals. Both teams are not great defensively. Ottawa does limit shots against. They're last in the league in allowing just 26 shots per game on the road. So give me Ottawa here, especially their power play. I like them quite a bit. And they might be one of my favorite stacks on the slate, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Just because Detroit's penalty kill is under 60%. They're allowing nearly 4 goals per game on home ice. They allow 30 shots per game. Ottawa's top 5 in the league in road shots per game. It's a straight numbers play. And Ottawa's actually playing well. Big Cat, Alex DeBrincat, is on fire right now. He's on that top power play. Like him. Brady Tkachuk, his price is coming down. I mean, he was 8.5K against Washington, who's a much better defensive team than Detroit, and now he's 7.7K. So almost $1,000 decrease. He's been in the 8.5s. He was even 10K earlier this year. So this is his lowest price he's seen in about 8 games. So like him, like DeBrincat, like Batherson, give me this whole top power play for Ottawa. One of my favorite stacks of the game, of this slate.
Wow. Boom. That's why the people come to get takes like that. Not something I would have ever guessed. Fair enough. Anyone in particular that you think people must have in their lineup tonight?
Yeah, just DeBrincat's on fire. Brady's price is down. Just that whole power play in general, that top power play. Give me them all.
Even if you just want to grab one person from that line, you'd recommend it?
Yeah, I would say DeBrink, just because he's on that second line. And I like second liners more on the road. And he's shooting the puck nearly 5 times per game. So him and Brady are both right there at 4.2 and 4.4 shots per game in their last 5. So
why is that?
Break it.
Why is the second line so much more lethal on the road than at home?
Just because I with the home line, the home team dictates matchups. Just so they put their more defensive lines on the bigger line. So I can see them going on the Giroux, Timmy Stu, and Brady Tkachuk line, giving them a tougher matchup, leaving DeBrincat, Batherson, and Pinto on and fairly easier matchup. Obviously, every team does it differently, and it's not an exact science. That's typically I like 1 and 3 at home more, and 2 and 4. Obviously, you don't get to fourth liners too much, but on the road more. That's just kind of a super high level overview that I just always have paid a little attention to. Obviously, it's not a set in stone kind of rule, but if there's a kind of a tiebreaker, that's where I look.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I just found off the power play thing there. DeBrincat is where did I just find it? Lost it. He's plus 125. DeBrincat as a goal scorer. You can get him plus 115 for a power play point. Batherson's plus 145 for a power play point. So if you think that power point's going to be clicking, you can get some great value on those players there.
Like that.
I like it. Moving on then to the game I'm most excited for on the slate. San Jose Sharks visiting the Dallas Stars. As expected, Dallas at home, a heavy favorite. But this Sharks team, man, they're scrappy. There's something about them. They're still fun to watch. They have so many good players, but they're a terrible team. And that just makes for entertaining hockey sometimes. So there's a few plays I'm looking at here. I'm tempted to take the Sharks money line here. I know it's be a bit of a controversial play, but before I kind of dive into why, Tanner, let me get your thoughts on the game.
I was going to go the exact opposite and say Stars puck line. You're getting plus money here, plus 105 for them to cover. The Sharks aren't that great on the road. It's so hard to fade Ottinger in that. You get Robo has been on a tear again after he slowed down. That whole power play has just been electric. And where's their power play? Or the penalty kill of San Jose is kind of diminished the last few games. They're just about 60% success rate. Dallas draws the third most penalties in third most power plays in their last 5. So I can't bring myself to take the Sharks on this one. You're giving me plus money. If you take the Sharks minus 1.5, I got to take that.
Oh, you mean the Stars?
The Stars plus money.
Yeah, it definitely being on the road. I don't love to play as much, but yeah, I mean, fair argument there. Hard to argue with that. Nate Defy, man, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, give me the Stars as well. This is a great bounce back smash spot here for the Stars. Their power play is in an elite matchup. I like all these Stars. San Jose is allowing nearly 4 goals per game on the road. And their penalty kill is under 65%. So you put this top Stars power play up there. I don't see how they don't score a couple goals here. Like them a lot, and I know VIP is going to be stroking his meat here if he's playing
they get him
hockey.
Some new undies.
Yeah, if he's playing hockey, because they do have a good matchup. I know he plays them every freaking slate, but he's going to want to play them on this slate because they're in a great spot.
Fair enough. So I'm okay with not taking the Sharks to win, as there's plenty of other great plays in this game. We the people didn't know he was in the NHL streets. Hintz to get a goal, that's not bad. That's a plus 172 play. Robertson is at plus money if you want to take him to get a goal. But the one prop I really like is Timo Meier to score a goal at plus 142. He scored, I believe, 7 goals over his last 8 games. He's been absolutely on fire. Just like I said, pinnacle example of great player, crappy team. So like him to get it done. And if I'm not going to take the Sharks puck line or money line, I got to take that over 6 goals. That number's so low. And, I mean, there'll be plenty of goals in this game. Both teams, I mean, even if I'm wrong about the Sharks, Dallas could still win this game 6-1. Goalies, I don't believe have been announced, but
I think Ottinger is announced.
But who?
Ottinger for Dallas, I think he's been confirmed.
Okay. And then another hard to pronounce goalie, I believe, is suspected for the Sharks. Kokkonen.
Let me see.
That can't be close.
Nate, if I give it a shot.
Sorry, I was just locking in this college football lineup here.
Capo Kokkonen, yeah, he's allowing almost 4 goals a game. Save percentage under 900 there. He's at .87. He's I was looking at it earlier. He's got 1 win on the road so far, and I think 5 starts on the road. It's not a good matchup for the Sharks, in my opinion.
No.
All right, let me take a look deeper. Hold on. Sorry, I was just locking in
you got,
some
man.
college football.
The other thing too, man, this line opened at 6.5 goals. So the fact that it's down to 6, I think, is curious. But I think that's my play of the day here.
I think that just falls on the Sharks' ability to score goals. I mean, Ottinger, the Stars haven't been as good defensively. They're allowing over 3 goals in the last 5, but I don't know exactly who they played in the last 5. But I mean, I just think the people are looking at the Sharks' ability to get some goals on the board, not the Stars there, because we know what they can do.
Yeah, Sharks played Philly last, Vancouver before that, beat the Wild at home, dropped 2 in a row to Calgary at home before that.
What's Jamie Benn's props?
Oh, that's the other one I was going to look at. He is still plus money to score a
plus
goal.
260.
Yeah. Lock that in.
I mean, if you want to bet on
that was your other call there. That was the one I couldn't remember.
Yeah, lock that in. So he had 2 goals last game against San Jose back in November. At home, same matchup, exact same matchup. So I like that quite a bit. 2.5 to 1. Lock that in. I don't see how he doesn't score. Like that. But yeah, overall, just this Stars top power play. But on the flip side, Timo Meyer has great history against Dallas. Had a goal in the last matchup back in November, and they actually won 5-4. So you could look at the over here, just because both teams are allowing goals and it's sitting at 6. You could get some good value there at the over.
Yeah, I mean, I love games like this where, I mean, you can just take the over, pick your favorite team, plug in a bunch of props, and a lot of them should hit. So it should be a really fun game to watch and to bet on. So I love that. Nathan, I was curious, man, have you been given Erik Carlson any love on the DFS side? Because he's been a monster, but it's hard to get value on him on the betting side. So I was just curious if he's been making you any money over in daily fantasy.
Yeah, the issue is his price is always up there. I mean, he's a little bit cheaper today at 7.3K. I had him cored last game, I believe, against Philly, and he was fine. But, excuse me, I don't know if I get there tonight against the Stars. It's just he's 7.3K on.
Whoops.
I don't love it, to be honest with you, in this matchup.
Fair enough, and I know
I'm more on the Stars side.
I know you don't like spending on defensemen either, so.
Yeah, not a ton. It depends on the slate, kind of how the slate shapes up. It's just they've been dropping the ball on some of these defenders' pricing recently. Like guys like Gustav have been 4K, averaging like 15 to 20 DK points a game. So like they just don't move their prices there.
Cool, fair enough. All right, anything else from either of you before we move along?
Good here.
All right, another game with good over possibility. Vancouver Canucks visiting the Calgary Flames. Calgary, a heavy favorite. But as we all know, you can always count on Vancouver to score some goals. Should be Spencer Martin taking on Markstrom between the pipes. Seems like an easy play here for Calgary. 6.5, though. Nade's a 5-man. You biting on that over?
No, I don't think so. Just because Calgary is kind of suffocating on defense. They're allowing under 24 shots per game on home ice. I like Calgary to win this game pretty easily here. The Nucks can score, but Pettersson has cooled off his last 2 games since literally returning from being out in a flamethrower suit. But he's definitely he jumped in the lake, I guess, the last 2 games and put that flame out. So don't love him. Don't love these Nucks in general. They're just an absolute dumpster fire team in general. I mean, they can score, but they can't play any defense. They allow the 5th most shots per game. Their power or penalty kill is decent. But Calgary is in top 10 in penalty or in power play percentage. And I just like the Flames here. I think the Flames kind of handle these Nucks pretty easily. And Flames are one of the top stacks of the slate for sure. Let me take a look. So Mikhail Backlund, what's his prop sitting at?
I'm not seeing anything.
He might not have him up.
No. Oh, there we go. Backlund, plus 310 on goals.
So I wouldn't hate that or Mangiapane. He's got to be, his odds have to be pretty high too.
He's plus 175 as a goal scorer. Mangiapane.
250.
Really? So, yeah. So that's very interesting because he has 10 shots on goal in his last 2 games with 0 goals. So I have to believe, especially against Vancouver here, who allow almost 7 shots per game to wingers, left wingers, he finds the back of the net. And if his prop is that low at a $3,400 player on the DFS side, I like him quite a bit. He's on that third line again. So if you need salary, if you're not going to like Lindholm, Toffoli, Kadri, Anderson, something like that, which I like a lot. I really like Backlund, Mangiapane, this third line. The nice thing about them is they both have power play correlation as well on that second power play. But his props are pretty low for a $3,400 DFS player. So like this third line for Calgary, as well as their obviously their top studs, that top power play. But yeah, I think the Flames roll this team.
Another guy I was looking at, and we the people in the chats giving a shout out to, is Kadri. He's not putting up the same production he was in Colorado. He did put up 2 points on Wednesday in Seattle, and he's sitting at plus 150, I believe, plus 156 to score a goal. Any love for the Ontario native there?
Yeah, I like Kadri quite a bit. We the people he's always sharp. He's always in our chats here. Love this guy. So like if I pull it up here, Kadri he's shooting the puck 3 times per game, last 5 roughly. He's on that top power play, and he has absolutely incredible history against Vancouver. So last game he had 6 shots on goal. Game before that, 6 shots on goal. Game before that, 5 shots on goal. A goal in 2 of his last 3 against this team, with 3 assists in his last 3. So I could see Kadri finding the back of the net here and like that quite a bit.
I would say his shot prop is over 3.5 to get to get even money on that one. So I'd definitely be looking there as well.
Yeah, this is another game for sure. Kind of like the Dallas game where you can throw in a few props and make some big money here.
Yeah, DFS side though, definitely the Flames are one of the top stacks of the night.
And then remind me, I don't know if you said how we feeling about 6.5 over under.
So don't love it. Their last game did go over, but Calgary has clamped down more recently. Like I said, I mean, Vancouver's shooting the second least on the road, and the Flames are allowing the second least shots per game at home. So both are bright red. Vancouver being 30th in the league in shots for, and the Flames are 31st in shots allowed. So unless Vancouver's highly efficient, I don't see them scoring a ton here, especially with all their stuff going on in the locker room with their coach and all the stuff with Besser being a scratch and third line and then first line and then blah, blah, blah. I just think the Flames handle them pretty easily here. And I could see like a 4-1 type game that doesn't go over and the Flames just kind of cruise. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was hoping to find, I'm not seeing it posted yet, Calgary's team total, because that might be a better play here. Yeah.
To get plus money, you got to go out to 4.5. 3.5 is minus 145. So
yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's Yeah.
I think my favorite plays
Over's
here,
always
just
more
looking
fun
at
to
the
bet.
numbers even, would be goalie save props here. It's like you said, Flames are shooting a ton on home ice. Vancouver's giving up a ton of shots, and then vice versa. So I mean, the numbers haven't come out yet just because the goalies aren't confirmed. But based on what
Spencer
those
Martin, if Spencer
come out
Martin is in fact in that, I mean, the Flames are going to steamroll. Martin.
Oh
is
yeah. I'm not. They're
Martin,
definitely going to score.
Martin
I think they could put up
Martin is
35
horrendous.
to 40ish shots on him. So just looking at the numbers. So if you can get the Martin save prop around like 28 and a half, 29 and a half, maybe even up to 30 and a half. I don't know if I'd go quite that high, but if you can get it around that, I would definitely be taking that. And maybe even Markstrom on the under there, depending on what the line comes in at. I usually don't go below like 25 and a half, but based on the numbers here, I can see that being very viable to go under on whatever his prop is.
Right. Yep. I agree.
Fair enough. Okay. Tanner, anything else you wanted to add? Are you good?
No, those are my two plays here. I think
Yeah,
money
I
line
like
and
it.
everything
No, I
like
like
that.
it.
I'm avoiding it.
All right.
What's the
last
under?
game
What's the
on
under? What's the
Go
under
ahead.
at? What's the under at for that?
6.5
minus
-120.
120.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't hate that if you're adding it to like a parlay or something. Just
Right.
because, like I said, I could see this even being a 5-1 Flames win or something like that, like 4-2, 4-1, 5-1, and all of those are going to go under, and the Flames are going to win. So could lean that as well. That's probably I like that a lot more than the over. These overs have been brutal to us, so it's time to just embrace it. And especially in a game like this where Calgary is suffocating on defense in the last 5, take the under and throw it at. I mean, there's not a lot of juice there, so add it to your parlays and stuff like that to boost your odds.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't love it, but since I don't love it, it's probably the right play. So I might throw time on that. All right, last game: Winnipeg Jets at the Edmonton Oilers. Over under sitting at 6.5 on this one. Oilers a -130 favorite. Tanner, which way are you going? Tanner?
My I cut out for a second there.
Yeah.
I think a case can be made here for the Jets to win here. I mean, Nate's fight, does this qualify as the first period puck line? You get Edmonton on a back-to-back with some travel. Yeah. I know they're the home team here, so it's a little different. So I didn't want to take that one. I was curious if this fell under that umbrella or not.
No, because they're at home.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If Winnipeg was at home, yeah, absolutely it would.
But, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm definitely not. I mean, it's hard to say I'm on the Jets here after McDavid put up a ridiculous stat line last night. But just with the Jets on with the Oilers on back-to-back, Jets, when's the last time they played? Probably been a little bit. But, yeah, coming off 2 wins against Calgary and Seattle.
Their last game was the 29th against Vancouver.
So, yeah, they played the other I'm looking at the Oilers. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, they played the other day, get Vancouver at home. So, I mean, they got their feet back under them after the Christmas break. So, I don't think that's a bad play here whatsoever. Beyond that, I mean, what's McDavid? McDavid's -120 as a goal scorer. Is there any word on if Draisaitl's playing tonight or not?
I haven't seen anything
I haven't
yet.
seen anything.
I don't know what his injury was, but yeah, he didn't play last night, and it obviously didn't matter. They dropped a touchdown on Seattle,
right?
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, McDavid is just an absolute specimen.
A freak.
I mean,
he's a freak.
16 minutes on ice, 3 shots on goal, a goal, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. Like
4 primary assists too.
Light work.
The dude is just incredible. But tonight,
he's playing a different sport.
Yeah, but tonight he is 9,500, and every game log watcher in the country, before they're going out to the bar and getting absolutely hammered for New Year's Eve, is just going to click on McDavid. I mean, McDavid gets 20% ownership every freaking slate, especially in a 5-game slate after dropping a 40-piece. I'm off of McDavid, to be honest here. I will die on that hill. If it kills me again, it kills me. I didn't play him last night.
Are you going to Hellebuck?
Let me take a look.
Take a complete fade.
Yeah, so first of all, Jack Campbell's in net for Edmonton, likely on a back-to-back here.
With Soup in that, I think I like the Jets here still.
He's fucking terrible. Excuse my language, but he sucks. He gave up 3 goals against last time against Winnipeg, and Winnipeg beat him 4-2. Give me Winnipeg to win this game. And I like Winnipeg's top power play here. Let me see what Hellebuck. Yeah, so, I mean, Hellebuck has 36 saves, 31 saves, 32 saves. So if his prop comes out around that 28.5 mark, I like his save over for Hellebuck. He's just been great. He's 7.3K. You can own all the haters in DFS and just play him.
I like that.
In that and own this Edmonton. All these Edmonton chalk donkeys that are just going to slam this team at 7.3K. I mean, even if he loses the freaking game and gives up 3. So, like, he gave up 3 his last game against Edmonton. He gave up 3, still scored 18 DK points. Game before that, he gave up 1, scored 20. Game before that, 21, 24, 26, 40, 25. So he's had over 18 points in his last 6 games against this same Edmonton team. Give me him.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I mean, it's coming into this one. I really didn't. I felt like it could go either way, but who am I to fade Nadesify? So I'm cool.
Well, so I would hate it a lot more if Skinner was in that, just because Skinner's better than Soup can, but Soup is just terrible. To be honest, this game could shoot a little bit, but I'm not taking the over. And both of their last 2 games against each other have both gone under 6.5. So you can probably get fairly decent money on the under, or it's probably like that -120.
Yeah, it's right at -120.
Yeah, just because, because the line's almost a pick 'em too.
I'm taking the Jets here, +120.
Yeah, give me the Jets money line here. I like Helly in net for the Jets. Let me take a look what I got. The second line here. Let me see if I can cook anything up for
Tanner. What are you feeling on the over-under?
I mean, it's always tough to take an under with, the Oilers. They're just they don't play defense, and McDavid puts up 5 points. It seems like that's a normal night for him.
Right. That's the thing, man. So, it feels like an under, but you just never know.
But yeah, both these teams, like the Oilers, once in a while drop a dud. I mean, especially without Leon, they literally just have McDavid.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think I would just avoid that one in general. From my standpoint, it's just too hard to make a call.
For sure.
Like you said, I think Hellebuck saves would be a great prop whenever that line comes out, for sure. And then, I'm sticking with the Jets here. You're getting plus money on them. Oilers on a back-to-back. Jets got a few days break in there. So, +120 is nice enough for that one.
Yeah, that definitely feels like the smart play, because you take Winnipeg, and if they lose, it's because McDavid does something ridiculous, and you can just, chalk that up to what it is. So I like the Winnipeg play here too. Nadesify, what you got?
Yeah, so let me just take a look here real quick. So Adam Lowry is 2.9K. I wish he was shooting the puck a little bit more, but he has 2 goals in his last 3 games against Edmonton. Coming off a 4-shot game with an assist against Vancouver. He's 2.9K, gets power play run. He's on that second line again on the road against Edmonton defense, which is absolutely terrible. I mean, they just want to play a track meet every game. So don't hate that. I mean, his odds have got to be pretty.
He's got +310 for a goal scorer on DraftKings.
Yeah, let me just look at one more thing. Winnipeg. So he is, left wing, second line. Let me see what Edmonton ranks against left wings here. So, I mean, Edmonton's actually fairly decent against wingers. But wouldn't hate that as a flyer. I mean, because I can't imagine the props are too good on, like, Connor and PLD and some of these other.
Connor, you can get +105 goal scorer. PLD actually is +160 in this. That's a great pick.
Yeah, so Connor,
like that.
Connor's got 3 goals in his last 4 games against Edmonton. He's playing incredible right now. PLD, I would actually like that more in +160.
Yeah, you're getting a great payout.
Yeah, he's playing great. Campbell's allowing 4.2 goals per game in his starts this year. So don't hate that. But yeah, I lean the Jets side here. I know I see Maddie wrote up the Oilers, which it's hard not to write them up, right? I mean, they just dropped a touchdown on Seattle. But if I look at the metrics, and I'm a numbers guy, Winnipeg's not a bad team at home or on the road. They're 26th in the league in goals against, which at 2.4, and they allow under 30 shots per game. They don't really give up too many penalties. They have a good penalty kill. That's where Edmonton's so lethal, obviously. Not to say that they're going to slow down this top penalty for Edmonton, but they could. And that, I mean, it's going to be tough for Edmonton to pay off their price tags if that's the case.
Yeah, say price-wise DFS, it's always tough for you. Almost need him to put up a 3 or 4.
If I'm going to Edmonton, I'm going to Hyman. I'm going to Nugent Hopkins, something like that. I'm leaving McDavid off. Might grab like Barry or Nurse if I'm going that way. I'm not playing McDavid again. He killed me last night. I don't care. I just on a 5-game slate on a back-to-back with him dropping a 40 bomb, he's going to get 20 to 30% ownership again, like he does every other slate. I'm not playing him. I will take Helly. I will take the Jets and die on that hill.
Fair enough. Yeah, Tanner, something you're going to say?
But no, I was going to say from DFS side, yeah, McDavid, you got to make a stand somewhere. I mean, for that price tag too, it's just ridiculous.
No doubt.
Can he get there? Okay. Obviously, he's the best player in the world, right? But
you need him to play like the best player every night to get there.
Exactly. I'm not gonna do it. So that's where I'm at.
Quick recap before we get to best plays of the day. Some gems that have been dropped to this point is O'Reilly anytime goal scorer plus 260, Tony D power play point plus 135, Vegas first period puck line, Vegas first period over, Kerfoot plus 360 goal, Magnum Payne plus 250 anytime goal, and Backlund plus 310 anytime goal. Just a little recap for the people. And as a reminder, hit that like button. Check us out at Run Pure. We're here every Tuesday and Saturday at 11 a.m. So join us. Any questions you got, don't be afraid to drop them in the chat or in the Discord. So without further ado, Tanner, man, what's your best play of the day?
I mean, I don't think it's a hot take at this point, but I'm riding the hot hand of Braden Point. I think the plus 155 for the power play point, they've just been clicking. He's been all over everywhere, so I'm sticking with that one.
Nate's play.
Yeah, so give yours. I'm just going to see what these odds are for this bet real quick. 1 second.
Okay, fair enough. I'm taking Timo Meier, anytime goal, plus 156. Lots of play for you people, lots of good options. And we do for you.
I'm going to take the
people on Kadri. So,
so I'm going to take the Avs money line, parlay with the Jets money line. Little plus 329 on DraftKings. Take it to the bank. It's not going to lose.
All right.
The Avs are going to win. Jets are going to beat all these Edmonton chalk donkeys, and Helly's going to stand on his head. And I actually don't mind. Let me see if I got Helly's save prop here. 1 second.
I say he hasn't been confirmed yet, so I don't know if it'll be out yet.
Yeah, so if it's once he gets confirmed, because I don't see how he doesn't start here, take his save prop if it's around 28 and a half. I mean, he's had 30 saves in every game against these Oilers the last how many? 6. And take it to the bank, collect your money, and go into the new year with fatter pockets.
Awesome. I appreciate it. It is a great show as always. We appreciate the support from y'all. We will be back on Tuesday, and y'all have a happy, safe New Year.